I know this might get a lot of flack on TikTok, but I'm here to have a one-sided conversation. I mean, you can comment in the comments and I'll respond. I try to do that as best I can. But anywho, there's a lot wrong with society, and at the end of the day, it's the man's fault. No, I am not a feminist. I'm actually probably one of the more traditional, quote unquote, conservative people on this app. But let me explain myself. I say this coming from a traditional background, and by traditional I mean understanding the traditional natural order of the land, God's order. You can read this in 1 Corinthians 11 verse 3, I believe. That's essentially to say that the order is God or Christ, man, woman, then children. That in an ideal world, man should be submitting to God, their wives should be submitting to their man, and the children are submitting to their parents. That being said, if something goes wrong in the family, it's because of the man. It's the father's, it's the husband's fault. And get this, like, this is my own personal evaluation, but for me, this is what it truly means to be a man, and this is the burden of being a man. We as women have the burden of carrying life, but men have the burden of the ultimate authority, aside from God, obviously. And so you'll see this with like third wave feminism and the double standards and hypocrisy, where women want that same authority and they want that same equality, want that same power, if you will, but don't want that same burden that comes along with all that baggage. So I think that we're really at a divide of traditional and modern beliefs of the aughts of society. And I think a lot of it stems down to the differences in this power play. So especially if you have men that aren't after God's own heart, aren't following that first order, then everything after that is doomed for failure. And so yeah, it's always the man's fault, and I think it's also the man's responsibility to fix it. And like a lot of this is very much in contradiction to how I've been raised and what I've been told, and just kind of a lot of the outside influences from society on how I used to think, i.e. I'm an independent woman, I don't need no man. I definitely need a man. I definitely want a man. I want the right man. I want a good man, but I definitely need a man. Pick me. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what your thoughts are in the comments and any stitches and duets. Yeah.